Hey folks, I just wanted to put out a video. It's going to be about the situation in this country right now. Maybe some of you aren't aware of, probably most of you aren't. And probably the reason that you're not aware of it is because you're complacent, satisfied, and apathetic to the tyranny that goes on with it in this country. You have the illusion of freedom. It's just because you can still travel, get your groceries, turn on your TV after work, get your news from the state-sponsored media. You don't ask questions. You go along to get along. There's coming a time soon when the status quo won't work anymore. It won't be good enough just to get along. When that day comes, you'll ask yourself, how did we get here? And so, maybe before we get to that time, you could become informed. You could see what's going on around you, ask questions, dig a little deeper, think outside the box. I know it's hard. We're bombarded every second of every day with different decisions to make in life, family, work, occupation. All those things take a lot of time and effort. But there's an agenda. There's an agenda to take control of that narrative when you won't have those choices to make. All those choices will be made for you. It may not be today or tomorrow, but it's on the way. And for that reason, I'd like for you to contemplate a little poem written by a man who spent time in Nazi Germany, in concentration camps. And this man, he was a pastor. His name was Martin Niemöller. He lived from 1892 to 1984. He came up with a little poem that I'd like to read you. Well, at first it was different speeches, but along the years he developed it into a poem. And this is how it goes. First they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out, because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out, because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews. I did not speak out, because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. So now, who's going to speak for the socialists? They have quite a voice now. What happens when the agenda turns on them and they realize that their socialism turned to despotic communism? They were no longer needed as mouthpieces Who will speak for them? Who will speak for you? When you haven't stood up and you didn't do what it took to take control of the future, what's going to happen then? Who are you going to turn to? Who will have pity at that point? Who will care? Who will take on your cause? Will there be anyone left? If we stand up now, we have a fighting chance. But as we're picked off, group by group, and one by one, eventually it comes down to us and our decisions that we make today and now, while we still have some freedoms. As long as we have a partial constitution with the First Amendment that enumerates our freedom of speech and to be able to speak out, and then that amendment backed up by the Second Amendment to the Constitution, which enumerates our right to bear arms and to back up that First Amendment. We need to take hold of these truths, stand up and speak now for others before it's too late. I urge you all to take hold of Mr. Niemöller's poem. Take it to heart. So that someone's left to speak for you.